Hey everybody. I got a comment. I got a couple of comments on this video that I did about, what's stopping you from being creative, what's stopping you from making something essentially. And I got some responses to that were honest. And there are two different perspectives here, so I'd like to go through each of them. The first one is, what if I want to make a game but I'm too lazy to make a game? You just don't want to put any effort because you'd rather do other things. I would say to that, I don't know if you're technically lazy. If you really, really want to do something, you'll do it. But, I think that if you want to get over laziness, the best thing you can do is to set goals, daily goals, and they can be as microscopic as possible. And I mean, the way I do this is like, let's say I want to finish, like if I'm making an animation, if I'm making a cartoon, I want to storyboard it first, so I'll sit down and that doesn't take. You just got to realize, like, a lot of this stuff doesn't take that long. And if you don't know how to do something, then you're afraid of, like, you're too lazy to learn how to do something. That's another thing that's actually probably easier to set goals in, because you can feel yourself leveling up almost. So it's like, if you want to learn programming, which I'm interested in doing too, so. I don't know much about it. I used Scratch, MIT Scratch, back in middle school, but, I don't know much about coding. I would love to get into it, so what I got to do is just make a plan to, set separate goals. So, like, let's say the overall goal is to learn C++. Well, what's the first step in doing that? I need to find out how to learn C++. So what's the first step in doing that? Well, you go to google.com and you Google how to learn C++. What's the second? Okay, first step, that's easy. You can just do that. All right, second step, read the links. I don't know. This is a bad example because it's kind of like, I don't know C++, so how am I going to make an analogy with it? Let's say you want to learn a song guitar. I know that language. First thing to do is to learn the chords. How do you do that? Well, you Google them. You just go to Google and you type in Wonderwall chords, and then you just play them. And if you're having trouble on a certain chord, you just keep focusing on that chord until you're done, until you got it, until it's down. But I think that's just learning everything. And you just got to make those small goals. Like, I don't want to... You can't just think of it like, I want to make a game. Or like, I want to make a movie, or I want to make a cartoon. You have to think about it as like, I want to learn... Especially if you're learning how to do it. If you don't know already how to do it, you just got to think of it as smaller steps. Like, what do you want to do today? Well, today I want to storyboard my cartoon. What do you want to do the next day? You can figure that out then and there. Maybe you don't want to do shit that day. It's okay to take a break. And that leads us to our second comment, which is basically a person talking about how, since they used to make a lot of things, they used to create things all the time and make content, but since they've stopped, they've actually become a lot happier because they have a better social life now, and they realize that back then they weren't really going out and doing things. And to that I say, that's perfectly fine, Only make stuff. The video title for that video, which was "Why Aren't You Making Anything?" It was rhetorical, but I'm glad that people responded, because that's actually a good perspective. Maybe some people just don't want to make things. Like my mom doesn't want to make things. I keep telling her, she says she has all this free time at her job, and all she does is play jigsaw puzzles. I'm like, Mom, why don't you write a book? You read books all the time. Why don't you write one? She's just like, I don't want to. And I'm just like, you should. Why don't you? And then, maybe it is just a thing. Maybe some people just aren't wired to do it. And maybe some people are, like, really talented and good at, playing guitar or drawing or something, but they just don't want to, do anything original, Maybe they don't have the bone to do it or the drive to do it. Actually, I think everyone has the bone to do it. I think everyone's born with a brain that can be creative. I think everyone has potential because everyone has an imagination, I think. Even no matter how locked away you think it is, everyone has one. But maybe you just don't want to. Maybe it doesn't bring you happiness. Because for me, when I finish a product, a thing, a piece of content, or a drawing, anything, it's just like, I get such a dopamine rush after looking at it or listening to it back if it's a song. And it's just such a fucking high for me. And then I get to post it online, and I get to see it get front paged on Newgrounds, and I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly what I wanted. it brings me a lot of joy. And maybe I think that's just some people are wired like that. I'm an attention whore. I love attention. I love treats. I love little dopamine rushes. I love that you did a good job and like everyone agrees, and it's like, that feels so good to be acknowledged. That's it can be unhealthy because, like, who's not to say what's stopping me from making that part of my self-worth? To me, it kind of is. It used to be, for sure, when I was younger, like that was a big part of my self-worth, was the if I didn't get enough like praise for an album, it was just like, I'm a failed musician. But now I'm more so of the mind of, I just made a fucking album. Well, damn, that's sick. I can go listen to that now because you make the shit you want to hear, you draw the shit you want to see. Then you should be your biggest fan. But yeah, I don't know. You don't have to do it. It's not. It's only if you. I get high from this. I get high from this instant gratification. All this shit that they say you're not supposed to get high from. It's unhealthy. Yeah. But there's healthy ways to go around. I mean, you can go about it. I don't think it's not like the people I think make it seem way more unhealthy than it actually is. I think it's, if you have a good balance between your social life and your creative life, it's good. It's hard because if you're driven like me, like the way that I'm wired is like, if I get started on a project, I tend to focus on it. I've bluffed on my friends a billion times just because I didn't want to break my focus for this project. And I've even done that with stupid things like Minecraft. So, it's just how my brain works. It's an ADHD thing. It's like, I don't want to, if I'm focused on something, it's pretty rare that's going to stay that way until the next thing just pops in my brain and I want to focus on that. So, I don't like to break it. I don't like to break my focus, but I'm getting off track here. To wrap it up, I'd say, if you feel lazy, maybe you're just overwhelmed. That's the reason you're not creating things, is because you think you're lazy. No, I think you're just overwhelmed. I think you're tackling something too big. Reach for smaller goals. And then you'll just feel that dopamine of like, oh shit, I did it. I got my small goal out the way. Like tiny fucking goals. I'm talking like microscopic. You want to make a game. Well, first draw the main character. And then once you draw the main character, like that's a really good feeling. You just drew the main character. If it didn't exist already, if you just want to make a game but you have no ideas for it, make those ideas concrete. Draw them, do them, write them down, whatever. Write a page of something. And then I'd say if you're happier now by not creating things, then that also doesn't mean you're lazy. It just means you're just living your life. You're doing you. That's cool. But no matter what you want to do today, whether it's socialize with your friends or create something, all I'm saying is have a great day.